Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to be learning about some of Earth's features and characteristics that it has. We are going to explore how water and wind can change the land around us over time. Have you ever noticed how a smooth rock in a creek or dirt has been washed away after rain and all of the characteristics about it? So today we're going to be learning about how these changes can happen. Our learning goal today is I can observe my local environment and explain how water and wind can change soil and rocks over time. So to start off with, I'm going to show you two different rocks that I have found outside. So we're going to take a look at these two different rocks and we're going to notice how they are changed on the edges and how one of them is kind of smooth on the side and then one is kind of rocky on the side. So after noticing those two different rocks, we are going to talk about what has probably changed those rocks. So after water can condense down the material or the rock itself and change and break it down. Also, whenever the wind is really bad, it can break these rocks apart too by throwing them on other rocks or throwing them down the hill and whatnot. So the next thing that I want to show you is how the wind can move soil. So what I am going to show you now is I have a plate of soil that I got from outside. So you can notice how this is some dry soil, and then I'm going to gently blow the soil across the plate, and you're going to see how the wind, which it will be my breath, represents what the soil is doing to it. So you can notice that whenever I blow it, the wind is moving it around. So imagine the wind outside and it is going like 30 to 40 miles per hour, how fast that wind is moving the soil around. So when we're driving down the road and you are going down the mountains, for example, and you see the long slide that is to the side of the road, you can notice how the wind has kind of slanted the soil and made it kind of a narrow path. So also, I kind of got a wet piece of soil, but I also have a cup of water that I'm going to pour onto my soil. So let's see what happens when we move it around. Okay? You notice how the soil is kind of moving around and making its way with the water. So I want you to take a minute and observe what you are seeing whenever the soil is being moved by the water. Okay? Now, I want us to take a minute to write down what we have observed, and then we're going to discuss it. Okay? So we've noticed that the wind and water can change rocks, it can change soil. So now we're going to take a moment and go outside and observe what we can see around our school and look for places where wind and water may have changed the land. We're going to get a clipboard and a piece of paper and observe by drawing pictures and writing what we have found. So when we return to the classroom, you will complete an observation sheet by explaining whether water or wind caused the change that you have observed and what evidence that you have decided to help support your decision. So we have observed by seeing how water can change the soil, how water can change rocks around us. And I want you to just take a moment and ask yourself, what did you notice while we were on this rock or this walk? What do you think caused this change? What evidence did you see? So to close out our lesson, we have learned that water and wind are powerful sources that slowly change Earth's surface over time. By making careful observations and using evidence, we can explain how rocks and soil can change our environment. Thank you for joining me in this lesson today, and I can't wait to see all the wonderful observations that you have made.